Good evening and welcome to Size Eyes on the Skies on this Wednesday, April 4th edition. I'm Rachel Duebner. It was a beautiful day on campus today, but will the weather continue into the weekend? Stay tuned to find out that and more, because Size Eyes on the Skies starts right now. And welcome back. I'm joined by Corey. So Corey, how's it going?
It's still quite nice. Well, I guess we should say it feels quite a bit cooler than what we saw as we came into the beginning part of the week, but hey, I'll take this over what we could be seeing in the next couple of days. NWS did put out some freeze watches just up to our northeast for tomorrow night and into Friday morning, and freeze warnings even beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, we are still above average temperatures.
Well above average.
This time of year, so we really can't complain, even though it's not the 80s we saw this weekend.
But, you know, people are just never happy.
I know.
They always got to find something to complain about. That's just how things go, apparently. So, we did have that severe weather outbreak yesterday down in Texas.
We did. There were over a dozen tornado reports, but luckily there are no deaths right now, as of now, so yeah, that's a good thing.
I've heard of very minimal injuries, somewhere around 20, I think, in one location, and authorities are putting a lot of that credit to, one, advanced warnings, and two, a lot of people were at work, so they were all forced to do whatever their business does in that case. But the most intense video I saw out of these was of semi-trucks and trailers being tossed around just like toys.
I saw that one. That was amazing.
And then they did have a few watches and warnings down in that area again today. I don't know of any touchdowns or any tornado reports, so hopefully they got out of the woods on that one. But
they don't need any more after yesterday.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll talk a little bit about where we could expect some severe storms tomorrow, so we'll do that in just a couple minutes.
All right, we can go over and talk to Sean now about what's happening in Iowa. It was gorgeous today, but is it going to continue?
It really was pretty gorgeous today, and it's actually going to be pretty nice for the rest of the week. It's still going to be a little bit cooler than we were at the beginning of the week, but still, you know, at least at or above average. So, you know, we really can't complain about that type of thing. So really, I mean, maybe not, you know, going out and laying on Central Campus the whole day, but still good enough where you'll really enjoy it. But let's take a look at the day planner. And later on tonight, we've got partly cloudy skies with a temperature of about 50. So it's going to get a little bit down there with east winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then at 8 a.m. when you wake up for class, we got once again partly cloudy skies with a temperature of about 43 and an east wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour once again. And then at 3 p.m. we have mostly sunny skies, so the clouds are going to kind of pull out for a little bit with a temperature of about 58 degrees and east winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. So that wind's going to pick up a little bit throughout the day, but really it's still overall going to be a pretty nice day. And we'll actually take a look at your Easter weekend forecast later on in the Iowa segment, so want to stick around for that.
All right, sounds good. We will be going to our first break right now, and we'll be back with WeatherX in the news and our trivia questions, so stay tuned. And welcome back. We're going to send it over to the wall with Corey for the WeatherX news. Corey?
Hey, thanks, Rachel. Good evening once again, everyone. As we said in the open, quite a bit nicer today, but what can we expect for the rest of the week and into your Easter weekend? The others will cover that a little bit later, but first, let's take a look at your convective outlook. This is for today. We have that slight risk just down in the southeastern part of Texas and a good chunk of Louisiana. A few hail reports down there, and then there was also a slight risk throughout North Carolina and parts of Virginia. I don't know of any reports there. Taking a look at the day 2 outlook, pretty much the only area being watched right now is good part of Florida and then southern Georgia, Alabama, and parts of Mississippi and Louisiana, so we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow. Taking a look at your extended forecast for Wichita, Kansas for tomorrow, the clouds hang around 62 degrees for your high, and then the clouds break a little bit for Friday, 69 degrees for the high, chance of rain on Saturday and just dropping down to about 68, and then for their Easter Sunday out there in Wichita, 68 degrees, and the sun returns for then and also for Monday with a high of 69. And taking a look, we're going to head back north, about as far north as you can head before you need your passport to get out of Minnesota. International Falls, 55 degrees and 60 degrees Friday, the sun hanging around both days, and then the clouds come in on Saturday, high of 53, and then on Sunday, Easter Sunday there as well, obviously, 47 degrees and then cooling down a little bit for Monday and 42. That's a look at weather news. Rachel, back to you.
Thanks, Corey. We're going to go to your trivia question right now. All right, what type of tree is struck by lightning more than any other tree? Is it A, oak, B, birch, C, maple, or D, elm? We'll have that answer for you right after Colleen gives us the national weather. Colleen?
All right, well, thank you, Rachel. Let me get off that trivia question for you. So, your national weather, as we all know, we had some of that severe weather down in Texas the other night. Tuesday actually, bringing some nasty weather. But if we look at your current temperatures for the day, you got the 60s in most of the northern country and 70s down in the south, so keeping it nice and warm. I know a lot of schools are on spring break down there, so they're probably enjoying that nice beach weather. Off to the west, though, you got the highs in 50s as there's a rain system kind of moving out in the area. Taking a look at your jet stream, we got the jet stream way up here, so we got all that warm temperature keeping us in those nice temperatures we've been seeing with temperatures above average. However, as we look over to the northeast, there's a bit of a cold front, so they're seeing some cooler temperatures than we are in this part of the country. And then looking at your surface map for today, as you can see, there's some mountain snow going on in the west coast, bringing some mix but to the higher elevations. But as we move to the southeast, that system that was down in Texas with those severe storms is now moving in to the Mississippi Valley, so keep an eye out for those storms as some of them could turn severe. You just never know. Looking at your 6-to-8 temperatures, got cooler conditions in the northeast as there's that low that's kind of sinking in from Canada. Well, the rest of the country remains warm with those nice temperatures. So for Easter, who knows, you might see some nice temperatures coming up. Looking at your 6-to-10 precip, wet conditions, like I said, mountain snow and some of the higher elevations. Very dry still down in the southwest. But if we take a look over to the east, we got some wet conditions, and I know the Masters is going on in Augusta, Georgia, so who knows, there might be some rainy conditions for that. But that is it for your national weather, and now back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Colleen. We are going to our final commercial break, so stay tuned for our trivia question answer and the Iowa weather with Sean. And welcome back. Let's look at our trivia question again. The question was, what type of tree is struck by lightning more than any other tree? And the options were oak, birch, maple, or elm. And the answer was A, oak tree. So if you're in a lightning storm, I would not recommend standing under an oak tree. But for now, let's go to Iowa weather with Sean.
Well, thank you, Rachel. My name is Sean, and I'll be covering your Iowa weather for today. So, looking at your current your weather headlines, we've got patchy frost possibly heading into the area with lows dipping down towards later tonight. Another headline would be a rainy Saturday, something that, we're going into the weekend, something that you don't necessarily want to see a lot. And then Sunday, as we kind of alluded to earlier, we've got Easter coming up. So that's a day that you want to look out for good weather. Looking at your almanac today, we got up to 66 degrees. And that's still pretty good above normal, about 11 degrees above normal, which, is at 55. But we're not breaking any records here. We got a record of 89 degrees. Our low this morning was 41, so once again, still above normal, but not another record breaker. So it's been, above normal, but nothing too amazing. Precip today was 0, snow was 0. So overall, it was a pretty dry day. Looking at our current conditions in Ames, we've got partly cloudy skies with a temperature of about 60 degrees, and it's a little bit breezy out there with winds out of the east at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So once again, just kind of a nice day, but it's not nearly as warm as we were earlier this week. Looking across the state of Iowa, we've got pretty much temperatures around or near 60, maybe a little bit above or below, and mostly cloudy skies across the state, except for down in Clarendon where they have a little bit of shower activity going on. But in Ames, like I said, 58 degrees, Waterloo's at 58, and the Quad Cities are sitting at about 59. Looking at your forecast for tonight, we've got clouds decreasing, but it's still going to be partly cloudy with winds out of the east at 10 to 15 miles an hour, and a temperature of about 45. So once again, we're going to dip back under 50 degrees, and we're slowly going to just kind of feel more about average. Looking at your forecast for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Again, it's going to be a little bit breezy. Winds out of the east at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and a high of about 58. And this is actually more average for this time of year. The average for tomorrow is actually about 55. So this is this is something we haven't seen in a while, average temperatures. And then looking ahead at your 5-day forecast, Thursday we've got mostly sunny skies with a high of about 58 and a low of about 36. Friday, mostly sunny skies with a high of about 63 and a low of 47. And then Friday night into Saturday, we got a few showers coming in, but a high is going to be at about 62 and a low of 39. Sunday with Easter, as you can see the Easter bunnies hopping along around on Sunday with actually mostly sunny skies with a high of 63 and a low of 37. And Monday, we're looking again at a few clouds, but a high of 55. And overall, it's just going to be pretty nice. And so, really, this is just going to be a weekend that's not too bad, but overall, just kind of average, honestly.
Yeah, we're getting to see the sun so that Easter Bunny has a reason to be hopping up and down the joy, I guess.
He seems pretty excited. I don't know about you guys. You guys have any Easter plans?
Not really.
No,
no.
well, I'm staying right
Just
here in
like
Ames.
last year, I'm staying here
Yeah.
in Ames.
Yeah.
Our floor, my dorm floor kind of does, for those of us that stay here over the Easter weekend, we do kind of an awkward family photo.
That's
but,
fun.
you know, just nothing too big. Just kind of hanging out here.
Easter egg hunts to look forward to this year.
I
That was
know.
always my highlight for Easter, was Easter egg hunts, because my
Yeah.
family would always put a little egg outside my door in the window with a clue, and it would lead to a clue somewhere else in the house, and I had to go find it to go find my Easter basket.
I used to do that kind of stuff with my cousins. The problem was with some of them, they always forgot where they put them. So it made it kind of tough to find them later. We'd be finding them
Yeah.
about a month later.
Yeah.
Wait, but these were real eggs?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
don't worry. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, I think, they'd probably start to stink by that time.
Really nasty.
But, yeah, so, I don't know, just overall, it's looking like Easter's going to be really nice for those of you that are having outdoor parties or whatnot.
Yeah.
So family get-togethers are going to be
A
pretty
grill
good.
out, maybe, or
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. Like in the Northeast, how possibility of snow there. That's
Yep.
kind of a damper on your
Wait,
Easter
what is that word?
plans.
I took that out of my mental dictionary.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
With
we
these-
barely saw any of that.
Yeah.
Like temperatures
What?
in the 80s. Snow is kind of a foreign
Yeah,
word now.
it is.
Oh.
It is. So this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week, as we've kind of been talking about throughout the week. Today was Tornado Awareness Day.
The
A lot of you probably
sirens.
heard the
Yeah.
sirens. I found out where the system is closest to me, walking by, and that's when they decided to flip the switch. So, yeah.
I'm sure that kind of woke you up this morning
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
a little.
Yeah, I heard them going off while I was actually making the graphics for this earlier today, so didn't really have the experience you had, but I still heard them, so, And siren, even though I could hear them inside of agronomy where I was, you still shouldn't be watching for these sirens,
Yeah.
or listening for the sirens, because they're not meant to be heard indoors. It's something that you should be, you really should only be an outdoor
Yeah.
warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your best bet if you're trying to get alerts ahead of time before the sirens go off, go out and buy yourself a weather radio.
Exactly. That's probably the best thing you can do. And I know John McLaughlin was out at some Hy-Vees down in Des Moines
Yep.
working on selling those. So
Which is a very good thing to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one at home, and
Yeah.
usually I'm not around when it goes off. I'm usually out doing what most meteorologists do, and
We're
out
watching
chasing
them.
things.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
they can be kind of annoying because they're not specifically geographically centered, or a lot of the cheaper ones aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's something that really could help keep you safe.
But yeah,
thing
$30
to have.
investment, definitely worth it if you
Yeah.
ask
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Absolutely. Today is also National Walk Around Things Day.
Walk
So
around.
I'm not really
that
sure
just
what.
sounds so official.
I don't know who
Something a
comes
little
up with all
random.
these, but
In case you're bored
Exactly.
today, go celebrate the day and just set up an obstacle course in your room and walk
Just
around.
walk
around.
around a chair or something.
Yeah,
Just
go walk around a tree outside.
just don't fall over if you walk around the chair too many times.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing people just randomly walking with these blank
Like in a
faces.
circle or
Yeah.
something. And
And so, apparently, another thing I heard was it's also National Hug and Anchor Day.
It is.
does that mean I get
So-
a hug, Sean?
Maybe. Well, I'm not necessarily the anchor, so Rachel's been the anchor today, so I think we all
I
need
think
to give
I need
her
a
a hug.
hug now.
Do you need a hug? Give a group hug.
That's a little awkward. But yeah.
That could be your another awkward
Just
Easter
showing
moment.
the
there you
love.
go,
Just
there you go.
showing the love
Awkward
today.
Easter, yeah, but, well,
I think
With
that's
that, I
all
think
that-
we
I think
have for today.
a good
I'm
thing.
Rachel with Corey, Colleen, and Sean. Thanks for tuning in today, and tune in again on Monday for another episode of Size Eyes on the Size. Have a good night.